Hey guys, welcome back to the Saksham Vedi channel and have a very good day. So in the last video we discussed about some kind of how like protocol is happening, how it's two servers and how things are happening, how clients send the data to the server and how server responds. But but let's take a scenario. Let's take an example. Suppose this is your LinkedIn. You update up you like you post something, okay? Then you this is your browser and you post something and it have one like, okay? But you didn't refresh this page, okay? But after like 10 minutes you get a notification on your phone which is just on a side table you have like your post get 10 likes. But here if you see you get only one like and here you see you got a 10 likes. Okay, so if you saw this scenario, once you refresh it, like once you refresh the page of this LinkedIn, you saw your 10 likes. But without refreshing it, you cannot see the particular like refresh. Why? Because we didn't ask the data from the server from at that moment. Like, is there is any update? Is there is any update in the like count? But if you see the notification, we didn't ask the server to give us like any update on that, but he sent the update. Okay, you got the 10 likes. Understand my point? Like here the here you see the communication mechanism, but two different type of communication mechanism. Means you ask the data from the server, then the server gives you data. You didn't ask the data from the server, still it is automatically give you the data, and you have the updated data and all that. So this is called a communication patterns, like in which way we are getting the data is called a communication pattern. Okay, so now understand the concept. There are two main concept here, which is one is push and one is pull. So let's understand first of the concept of pull. So pull is the basic concept. This is just a simple concept. Like suppose you have a client and you have a server and you ask, means request, the server to give you the data and the server responds and the server respond. Okay, server respond. So this is called pull. Now this pull is of two type. One is long, one is short. In the case of long pull, in the case of short pull, like at every 5 second, your client asks data from the server, is there any update, is there any update, is there any update, and your server gives the data to your client. Okay, or in the case of long polling, it it send the request to the server, then it hold the particular connection for some set of time, suppose like 60 minutes. Like if there is any update in between of 60 minutes, the server send to the response to the client. So in the case of short polling, it doesn't wait, it just sending the response at the fixed interval of times. In the case of long polling, it hold the request for few minutes, or you can say some set of hours. You can add that, and at that moment if anything happen, your server will respond. So it's called a long polling and short polling. So if you see, it send the request and there is also the consequences, like you have a one like and there is no update, so you are refreshing, there is only one like, there is no update on your post. So no delay until next request, wasted request with no new data. Long polling means connection held open for specific interval time and response when data is ready. Okay, and there is also like a resource overhead, like there is a too much time to make the particular request to be open, like for 60 minutes there is one resource that to be hold on critical situation and to make a connection to server, and like on stop pause situation, okay, I have to make the connection. And timeout if server takes too long means suppose you have to wait like 120 minute. Okay, in the case of request, like if the timeout doesn't attach, I attached a timeout. It generally we attach a timeout like take 60 minutes and then drop back. But in the case of suppose you made a connection and the server take too long, like 2 days and without any response, then it's like a timeout situation. Then there is a push mechanism. In push mechanism, there is a persistent dual connection. Means client and server are connected on real time. And here server pushes the data to clients. It's a two-way connection. So suppose it work in that way. Suppose in the notification service where we got uh 10 notification, 10 like we didn't ask for update but it is automatically update. So on that section we have WebSocket, or also on chat we have WebSocket. WBS means we can create you can say the particular mm, chat architecture with that without WebSocket as well, because internally it's a DB connection, but it's not on real time. So WebSocket is just same. It hold the connection in a real time with client and server push the data immediately. Server push the data immediately as he receive anything. Okay, this is called a WebSocket. It's called a socket connection. It's a bi-directional, means client send data to server and server send data to client immediately. So it's a bi-directional communication. So if I explain you more briefly WebSockets. So the WebSocket make it possible to open a two-way interactive communication session between the user, browser, and server. See, and two-way interactive means browser and server can easily communicate between each other. With this API, you can send message to a server and receive without having to poll. Means polling what we have to poll means we have to wait for server for the reply. Got my point? So in that way, we have a let's take if we have any simulator WebSocket simulator. I don't think we have new connection WebSocket test. I don't think we have to connect it and then connection establish connection to now let's hmm. So I think it is the I have to check this thing pi host, but there's a WebSocket connection. You have to understand this thing. It's a bi-directional connection between your client and server, and it all happen. The best thing is it real time. You do not have to poll to the server to ask the data. Okay. So here we have no polling. We have a bi-directional connection between the client and server. So if you see persistent connection as server push the data. So push in the case of WebSocket. Now let's understand the context of webhooks. So what is webhook? Webhooks. So basically, you see Stripe or any payment gateway. Let's take an example of any payment gateway. So what will happen? You have a T-shirt store. You click on buy button and go to the Stripe site. It's not the T-shirt store site. It's on the Stripe site. You made the payment. You made the payment, and after you done the successful payment, it redirect to you again on your T-shirt site and said payment is done. Done payment. What it say? Done payment. Done payment. So it confirm the action. So it basically, just understand this point, it confirm the action when it is done. So once it is done, it just confirm your site, okay, this thing is done, you can check this thing. So webhooks is like a, when it doesn't ask your client doesn't have to ask it, is it done or not, it automatically push the data to the client when it is done. Okay, it automatically push the data to the client when it is done. Now let's move to server sent event. Server sent event is like, suppose you have a client, you have a server, you create a connection. Now this connection is persistent, and now server will send you the messages. So you do not have to ask, your client doesn't have need to ask each time for the data. The server send the data each time to you when there is any update or anything. So this is term as a server sent event. You can take an example of, suppose we have a you have Instagram notification. Let's take, I don't think it work on that way, but let's take an example of Instagram notification service. You open an Instagram page, you upload a post, and if you see this red heart which is showing the likes, as user update the likes count, this particular thing is popped up. Okay, like 10 people like, 20 people like, 30 people like at some specific intervals. So this is a server side event. You didn't ask for that, but you get that. So let's take a conclusion on here. We have a client and server architecture, means client asks the data from server and server respond to that. Client requests the data to the server and server respond with the data. We have polling, and we have long polling and short polling. In long polling, the client maintain a connection with the server and server give a response when there is any kind of update. In short polling, client continuously asking from the server, is there is any update, if there is any update. Then we have push. In push, like when the server send data to a client automatically. In that case, what we have, WebSocket. What is WebSocket? WebSocket is a bidirectional communication medium in which in which in which the communication happen freely, means in the context of socket, the communication, you do not have to worry about like mm, do not need to worry about like polling or all that, like you have to ask the data from the server. It generally just give the data instantly. Okay, and then we have to learn about webhooks. Webhooks use post to send the data. Okay, when any action is done, then it automatically send data to your client, like payment gateway. You done the payment received, payment completed, it send the particular payment to your client. Okay, so that's all from my side, and thank you guys for watching, and have a very good day. Bye bye.